back to episode 2.1 of Trisha's Hideous Queers. Trisha can't join us this week, I'm afraid she's at a christening. My name is Rosanna, I use they, them or she, her pronouns, whatever makes you happy, and I play Bramble, who's a wheeler-dealing, sandboard riding, Rishin, clockwork soul sorcerer. I'm joined as ever by Posey.
Hello, my name is Posey, I use she, her pronouns. The christening did require multiple members of the medical profession to be in attendance, which is why Trisha is there. And I play Buck. Buck is a Crixco Twilight Domain cleric, and they use they, them pronouns.
Very good. Trisha, canonically a nurse. There we go. Okay, and I'm also joined today by our friend Lou.
Hello, I am Lou. I use they, them pronouns. So Trisha, the nurse, it was actually quite lucky that Trisha was there, to be honest, because saved everyone's life involved in the christening.
Including the 9 other medical professionals.
Including the 9 other medical professionals.
Cool.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I play a man of mystery, a woman of many names, and we'll find out lots about them.
Mystery intrigue.
Yeah. 3 genders. And last and by every means the least, 3 worms in a can, Robbie Taylor Hunt.
Hello, I'm Robbie Taylor Hunt. I use he, him pronouns, please. And Trisha did keep calling me during the christening, and every time I answered, it was just like screams and like loud noises and like bangs and magical
Honestly,
sounds.
really inconsiderate of her. Like, you have your life to lead.
I was honestly at a
You were
family
in a
dinner
webinar.
With webinar with my family, yeah. So
Over dinner.
over dinner. I was very busy already, so I can't get involved with Trisha. Anywho, we're going to do a little recap of sorts over our last couple of sessions, our little mini arc. We met Bramble and Bug and their other pal, Sari, who all live within the dome in a Corestellation, a little cluster of settlements, which all are protected by this dome, which has a core at its center, this big kind of lump of metal rock, which makes this dome that they're all under and protected by, which sits atop a big core tower in the middle of the dome, in the middle of the Corestellation. The gang were enlisted by Commander Vader, whose son was missing, and she didn't know where he was. They went out to find Geely, which led them out to the very edge of the dome. Ginger boy. Where they saw a sign saying, beware of the Fluxxed. The Fluxxed are a people that they would have known about. Very dangerous, confusing beast creatures who were very dangerous, malign influences. They decided to venture out into the tundra anyway, being the brave adventurers that they are. They ventured through all sorts of strange shenanigans, including a dangerous situation where Manti, Bug's creature that they ride, was killed. Bug, very sad overnight. Somehow something happened where Bug managed to create some sort of magical situation where Manti returned to us, but Bug still doesn't quite know how that happened or what. They managed to meet a woman called Grey, this mysterious woman out with a big broadsword, who told them to be very careful about the Fluxxed, but led them in the right direction, where they eventually found Geely, who was being attacked by these kind of ghoulish beasts and these big geysers erupting out of the ground. That was close. I don't know how to say that word. Geysers. They met 2 people in these like metal helmets who turned out to be Fluxxed, who were helping Geely. They realised that maybe these Fluxxed folk aren't quite as bad as everyone was talking about. The Fluxxed said that Geely absolutely has to stay with them because Geely is Fluxxed himself. The gang... Plot twist. Oh my gosh, the crowd went wild. Promising that Geely had to go back to Vader, they brought Geely back anyway to the dome, where Sari found out that actually his adventuring party, who he thought had been killed by the Fluxxed, were actually killed by the old commander who killed the adventuring party because they'd realised the Fluxxed were actually fine. It was all a bit of a hijinkery situation.
It's very sweet. Hijinkery. That's Vader's dad, wasn't it?
Anything else you want to add on that little recap?
No.
Good. Because I haven't got time for that. We will begin. We start in blackness. There's kind of swirly, inky, shiny, shimmering, twirling energy in blackness as far as the eye can see. Lou, your character finds themselves floating, suspended there. Their body isn't really there. They can't hear, they can't be sure that they're seeing or smelling anything, but they are just floating in this nothingness. You become aware of something through the space in front of you. You see a huge cavern opens. At first it seems like rock kind of peeling through the darkness, opening up. Then you see this huge cavern is connected to an even larger lump. And you see this is the solitary eye socket of some sort of gigantic head. I would like you to give me a number, please, as we're going to go straight into the gods for a god roll.
Ooh.
You need a number between 1 and 12.
10.
Great, so these are the rolls we have from the Bedford Youth Theatre group who have given us some rolls already. We're going to roll number 10.
Be a good god, be a kind, benevolent god.
Okay, we have a 12 from the god. So mediocre. With a 12, you, this god manages to begin to communicate with you slightly. It seems like this isn't a space where this should be happening. It's a bit confusing, a bit bewildering, but you get the word no, sort of reverberating around in your head.
No.
There's the sounds of clittering and clattering, and then some small kind of rectangular objects start shooting around the space, but they're kind of silhouetted, and there's these little rock-like things blaring around everywhere, and you see from within the cavern there's some sort of silhouetted creature darting around in this eye socket, peeking out and twirling around with big swathes of fabric, but you can't quite catch it through the blackness, who seems to then like sort of drift towards you. I'd like another number, please.
2.
Great. This god roll is, I should have said the first one is from Wisteria Human, that first 12 god roll. This second god roll comes from Al Levine from Bedford himself. This roll from the gods is a 19. A 19, very good. You see this beginning of reaching out has happened to you in some way. This one, the noises these kind of clattering noises swirl around your head even more so. And you hear 2 more words to start with. That first word, those 2 words are deadly, bramble. You hear deadly bramble reverberating around in your head. You, as that figure kind of tries to move towards you, and you can nearly catch what this figure is, it disappears into nothing. The eye closes and disappears into nothing. And then a dark green light appears. Another, until 8 dark green lights, all quite near each other, are formed. It starts to drift towards you, and you see these are 8 glistening green eyes connected to some sort of creature, which you can see has got little, some bits of something like flapping around and twisting around it, and you get this strong sense of like singed bark in like a really pleasant, lovely way, like drifting around you. As this moves towards you, like a final number, please.
7.
This roll comes from Pitchforky from the group. This god roll from the gods, Pitchforky, is a 14. A 14. All about 10. All about, we'll take them. This creature comes towards you, drifts forward. You see some sort of hand swaying around with things that you can see that are sort of leaves which you don't see a lot in your general life. It begins to reach towards your face, and he says, beneath them. And then whoosh, we cut out from that, and we find ourselves soaring above the Corestellation. These big sandy dunes, expanse of dusty land. There's a big cliff face next to the Corestellation, and there's blue shimmering dome that encapsulates it. We burst through, head towards the core tower, this huge spindly tower with the core at the top, over Hade, the main town, and zoom above that and down towards a small structure of sorts. This structure is in familiar to this gang because you came across this strange structure in your first adventure. This weird bits of the foundations of the building, which you had come across, and Bramble had put this is property of Bramble.
Do not move in.
Do not move on.
I might
This is
need
Bramble.
to live here. Lots of love, Bramble.
And you'd also promised this to Geely, the little boy who you were worried about, that could come and venture and stay out here if he indeed needed. We come to this with bits of that have been sort of placed around it, trying to make it a little bit more homely. It was truly ramshackle before. What might Bramble have put up to try and make this seem a little bit more...
Well, you know, your home furnishings. So
Yeah.
I've got like your roll mats and plumped up a little pillow and stuff. But I also reckon I've been cheeky and have been nicking beads from the bead shop
Right.
that my dad's run. And I've asked Broken Rock for a few offcuts, and I've made like a little mobile. Because that's what I think kids like, because my sister likes it, but she's at least 4 years younger than he is. I'm like, fuck it, that's what kids like, innit? So I've made a little decorative mobile that is made out of all these gorgeous glass beads, and I've just hung it, and been like, sorted.
Great. That is
We're done.
That is there. And speaking of your sister is there scamping around chasing Geely, who is there with you as you're perched up on a wall or something, looking down, and then they're sort of playing tag. They're trying to like string bits of material and things around to try and fasten it to make this look a bit more kind of homey and set
Amazing.
this up. But you see your sister comes and yanks your leg and goes, catch me! And runs off and tries to get you to play.
Oh, all right, I know the rules of the game, fine. I put down the box of stuff that I'm holding, be like, we'll unpack that later. Coming! I'm gonna take off at a dead fucking sprint. I will immediately catch her. I don't fuck around with these kinds of games.
Great, give me an acrobatics check.
Amazing.
Against hers.
Acrobatics, 7.
She got a 5, so it's not a very acrobatic game of tag. You eventually,
Pulls the shoulder.
you do grab and tag her. She goes, I'm gonna get you! And starts to run after you. She like squeezes out of your grasp and then says, Bug, where's Bug? I'm gonna get Bug, I'm gonna squish their little head into the ground. Yeah! And goes run amongst the structure. Where do you think Bug is in this?
Bug has like made themselves their own little dome of earth with mold earth, and they are just like crouched in there, hiding from the chaos and the madness that is existing outside, and hoping that no one notices them.
Ray, give me a stealth check.
Okay, I mean it is like a full like dome of earth, so it's fairly obvious. But Bug,
I feel like I definitely know where you are.
Yeah.
I try to make avoid
Springleaf's quite
getting
soon.
out.
that's an 11.
Springleaf gets an 11. So, I think Springleaf takes some time, but eventually goes, Bramble, what is that big lump?
Oh, excellent question. Could I just get a cast sleep on her?
What is that? I think it's wrong.
Rockabye baby on the fucking floor.
You, with Springleaf, your sister, asleep, do you come out of hiding at that point? So you see Geely's up trying to fix things like, do you think that looks better there? Will that keep any rain out better if I like move that across and drape that over the main area and I could sleep down there if I needed?
The main thing is keeping you warm at night. Look, it's not going to keep out rain for a while, but we work towards these small goals. So I'll tell you what, why don't we stop rain getting on your head? So we'll string that tiny patch of tarp over your head space. Yeah?
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, nice one.
Geely, there's like a big mop of ginger hair and glasses that he pushes up as he tries to do that. And as you help him, what's Bramble been up to these last? It's been a couple of weeks since you got back to the dome. Is there anything that is going on in Bramble's life?
Yeah, the relationship with her dad's is contentious now because I lost my soundboard. That's the party line we're taking on it.
Yeah.
Which is quite, it's sort of like a sacrilegious act for the Rishin community, which has resulted in me having to lie to them openly, and they continue to tell stories about the Fluxxed and them being very dangerous and spinning yarns about how nasty those outer dangers might be, and I can't sit there and tell them otherwise. So I've distanced myself from them as well as having been grounded by them. So I spent a lot of time with my sister and with Geely, and so we're helping set him up, you know what I mean? And I also I've been keeping a pen pal. I've been writing somewhat salacious letters to Vader. But what I've signed them anonymously. Because I've got a game plan. So it's in the last 2 weeks because I'm helping Julie so much and I do care about him, but I'm also just gonna like, just like a campaign of romance with Vader.
An anonymous
Yeah. And then when she's like, thank you so much, Bramble, you're great, but I've fallen in love with this pen pal, I can be like, it was me. So that's been my last 2 weeks.
Give me a charisma check.
13.
13. So the campaign has been like a slow build. Not all the letters got replied to, but you did like manage to get
Hey.
a lot of scene ticks coming back on a piece of paper. But yeah, so you're getting some replies, some little doodles back of being like, "Who are you? Like, you seem great." Sort of.
Hey, what did you say?
How are you? You
Who are
seem
you?
great.
You seem great.
If I was receiving anonymous romantic letters, I would not respond.
So she said, who are you? You seem great.
They are two different letters we got.
Okay.
They're the only two.
Yeah.
One is who are you?
And that-
The second one is you seem great.
You might spot those letters in Bramble's sort of like strappings and lashings of leather around her chest. She has to start peeking out just in case. Enough to like secure, but just so people ask about them.
Bramble, why have you got loo rolls stuck in your bra?
And you decided to come out. Okay. Thank you for asking, but I don't want to talk about it.
What?
I've got a secret admirer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you know they're quite visible.
Oh, I didn't notice. I put it out even more.
Oh, because now you made it work. So if you let me, you got it. If you want to make
Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, oh no.
Julie's like, where
Who are you?
Julie's like, I recognise that
You
letter.
seem great.
I put the mobile up. Come on.
So would you
What do
like?
you think? Do you reckon she's into me?
Well, I mean, they just say who are you, and she seems
Ignore
great.
that one. What do you reckon on that though?
You seem great.
That's the sort of thing you say.
I do. Am I your secret admirer?
Oh my god, what do you think?
I do admire you a lot, but I don't think it's very secret.
Okay, so maybe not, but also that's very sweet. I've got a secret admirer.
You see Julie shouts over, Bub, can I please use your manti?
Oh, you've got to ask them. Manti.
Give me an animal handling check.
It's a fucking no.
Something's never changed.
Something that, look at me not making you roll a disadvantage. You shout for me, you've got to ask them. You shout for Manti, look up at the right, and Manti's a while away, walking off into the distance.
Manti like does that cat thing of like looking at you and then just like turning and going.
Yeah, Manti's not coming over there.
And Manti, that's the wrong man.
Maybe they're going to get something for
Yeah,
you.
that's the way to the well. So that's where he's going, he's getting water. That's where they're going, sorry, he's getting water.
Oh, well, in that case, I think Manti's already helping you. Is the answer to the question that you
Right,
asked?
so I'm asking too much.
Right.
Right. Yeah, give me a persuasion check to how good this is.
Oh, sorry.
Exciting.
Into the thing. Go on, you do it. Unbelievable. So now what?
So I guess persuasion, like Julie, I guess that's more on Julie. Maybe you're catching this a bit, but Julie's like, there's no well, that's not a real thing. I think Manti just doesn't like you. I think that's what the issue is there.
What a nasty thing to say.
So I think I'm getting confused because she keeps gesturing at me to like.
Manti doesn't like me.
Is that bad?
We're going to have
How
to...
do they know each other properly?
Mark, Manti's just being a strong, independent Manti.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Julie, just one second. Just take a moment. Take a knee and have a word with yourself.
I'll take a knee.
Mark, my sweet friend. The Manti's just going off and being strong and independent, and you wouldn't love him as much if he didn't have his own mind. So he'll come back. He loves you deeply, but you know he goes off and does his own thing. That's what makes him brilliant. Okay? It's like my sister. She's currently running around trying to, well, she'll wake up in a minute and she'll continue to try and hunt smaller things than her.
I'd like to say that your sister scares me.
Yeah, she scares me too.
Okay.
I don't know what to do about it.
I think that she needs a stronger paternal hand.
I'm going to have to talk to Sharp Shell.
Is he like, okay, without Manti, can we all, if you just get up on their shoulders and then I get on your shoulders, I just need to hang this final thing up, if that's all right.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try and climb. Can I climb up on you?
I go full plank.
That's not helpful. I think they actually need to be quite tall.
Yeah, I'll stand up.
Okay. I'm going to try and climb up.
And then, I guess give me that low DC acrobatics check.
Can I help? I'm being
Yes.
sturdy.
You roll again, take that advantage.
Okay, thank you.
With the help.
That's a 6.
I said low DC. I think we'll take that. It takes a while. It's pretty shaky. Alright, I've got to get on as well. I tries to grab onto you, scramble up.
No, it's my feathers.
No, but Julie doesn't do amazing either. So sort of scramble like, I'm sorry, I've got you.
Not the feelers.
And finally, like hooks this final bit of material around, and then all fall over. He laughs as he hits the ground. He's like, obviously having a great time with the two of you, and like seems very chuffed to be hanging out.
Julie, are you happy? Are you gonna be happy here?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and I won't come here all the time. It's just, when I need to, that I can come here and just like get away.
In the camp, we have tree houses.
Right, yeah.
We don't have trees though.
It's like my own, like, right.
What are they
like
called?
houses then.
Are they on the ground?
I think
or
we
are they-
appropriated them from a community with trees.
Right.
But it's somewhere you
Not
just get
okay.
to go, or like a Wendy house. Do you have those?
No, but this can be
Who's
my
Wendy?
Wendy house.
We took her house.
Oh my God, Wendy! Oh no!
Wendy!
But it's where kids go just to sort of get some space.
Yeah, this is great. I love my. Thank you so much for this. I love it. It's perfect.
All right,
And, like, looks around.
Are you not feeling any different or anything?
Oh well. Would you mind if I just took a little moment?
Yeah, do your thing.
Looks around, like feeling safe in this space. Looks to both of you. Sister asleep. He's like, right. He's suddenly you see his like facade drops a bit. You can both give me an insight check.
Yeah, big time. Not
That's
one
cocked.
again.
No.
It's a 3 from me, but a 10 in total.
Oh, yeah, okay, with a
That's
10.
good for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like this is very easy to read, so not while you're still struggling.
I'm picking up my sister.
Yeah, you're distracted. But you catch this much more as he kind of like takes like a big out breath, and you see that he's quite he looks quite wounded and like winded all of a sudden. And he
Wordlessly, I'd just like to just pat him on the shoulder, and as I pat him on the shoulder, I'd like to cast Lesser Restoration on him.
Great. That lesser restoration comes over him. He feels that like support and looks at you and sees that you are like, fully on side. And he goes, maybe just take a step back now, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't mind. I like that. It's just
okay.
he kind of checks you a final time, and then like his whole body relaxes, and out from like the base of his head, this like faint yellowish glow starts to like twirl around his head, which fades into sort of aqua color, and he sort of floats and feels a bit drifty, and this big smile goes over his face. At last, he looks so relieved. This is the same thing you saw in the Fluxxed outside when they took off their helmets. You saw they had these glows, and he like almost like dances in it for a moment, so relaxed and so happy, and then like steals himself, takes a moment, focuses loads of his energy, kind of grounds himself, and the glow like retreats back into him, and he goes like and looks like really exhausted and frustrated, and I say, sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I thought that was
You
really
don't have to
pretty.
apologise.
Is there like a little rainbow?
Yeah, well, it's like one colour, but then it shifts into another colour, and sort of like almost like sea slug fin, like undulate, glowing energy like around his head, which like retreats.
Keep doing it.
You don't have to stop
no one
doing
in
it.
here is
Yeah,
going to be
you don't
upset
have to
by
stop
it.
doing it.
Give yourself an hour with the fin with this.
Really? Is
Love
that
it.
right?
Do you just want to do it all the time? You can do it all the time here if you want.
But well, I thought maybe because I've been feeling like I need to do it. Where am I from? North. I need to do it more and more, but like I couldn't do it obviously around me more everywhere in Hideous. So I thought maybe that's why I need to get this place a bit nicer, because I might be spending a bit more time.
Yeah, I think an
Yeah.
important thing for us to do is make sure that no one can like peek in. Stuff like that. Why don't we barricade the windows?
Well, I can mould earth. Would you like me to make you some big walls?
I love big walls. I love it. At the moment, the little walls only go a bit foot off the ground.
Amazing.
This is literally my favourite thing to do.
Okay, we'll do the windows while you make walls.
I'm also set up your poker table over here.
Right, that's
Do you,
great.
do you want that in the middle of the room or do you want it at the side?
The middle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
What
Drag
is
it over.
poker?
Oh, it's just like a game that kids play.
Where you poke her?
Yes. I just dragged the table. That's exactly right. And you play it on a table.
You get the table into the middle of the room. You start to mold earth to make some kind of extra walls and start to look at the windows. Give me a perception check with advantage, and give me a perception check flat.
I have advantage if I'm in a dark space. Can I say that when I'm building the walls?
I think you get into some shadow because you're mold worth. You've never
Okay,
had
well,
it. Thank
also
God you
it was
have
a
it.
2, so still not great. 18.
5.
Great with 18. You said
18.
you're like molding these walls as you go around. You go to the edge. Actually, Lou, I'd like a stealth check,
Ooh,
please.
okay. For that one.
My passive perception is 22.
23.
Oh my god!
good.
Absolutely
My
bonkers.
passive perception is actually 11, so...
It's half of mine!
2 and 1, 1 and 2.
As you are lurking, and this is the structure with kind of bits of wall, kind of sections off, there's little clumps of rocks and things around the outside, you've snuck up to this area. This is north of Hade, that you have moved in since this sort of dream-like sequence you had overnight. It's the morning now. You set off and head north for about an hour outside of Hade and come to this structure where you've heard voices, sneaking up on it. You've stealthed very successfully. Would you like to describe your character for us, please? Hiding in the shadows.
Yes. So, very low to the ground, sort of almost army crawling towards this structure in the distance. Hands and spikes in the floor. There's this very lean-looking person that's staring up very, very suspiciously. Head quite far down to the floor. Sort of silvery eyes peeking through, and skin almost carefully. Wait, what time of day is it?
Morning, like quite early, yeah.
Okay, skin very clearly quite grey, but like a nice little bluey grey. Wearing this gauze just wrapped around their body to give them some sort of modesty in social situations, but very, very proudly displaying their fin as well still, and it's sort of ruffling in what little wind or however much wind there is. And when there is no wind, there's still just a little ruffle because we want to show that off. It's our best feature. The only thing that really sticks out is this very bright tuft of green hair on the top of their head.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. You are like creeping up onto this central structure. Well, the biggest thing now erupting out of the earth is this earth is being moulded into walls. You see this little Cricksco folk, little bug folk, who is there making this wall. You look and see this Ryshin, who also will describe your...
Yeah, well, you'll see Bramble, because she got a 5 on her perception check. Bramble's like, looks sort of feline with elongated limbs, is Ryshin, you probably know, leonine fur that's tabby in the summer. Also has a little pink and blue fin that runs centrally down there, just a little one. And sort of serpentine eyes and a little serpent's tongue. But for the most part, does look quite like elongated feline. Big like whipping tail. Just my clothes, not really, just like leather straps that have been bound around every bit of my body. And an obvious space like tan lines where a sandboard once was on my bag and now is not there. But yeah, you definitely see the fin.
Yeah, do you want to describe your character a bit more actually?
Yes, Bug is a very small humanoid creature with very long skinny limbs, but a surprisingly bulky body. If you've seen other Cricks go, Bug is definitely bulkier than most of them. And this sort of giant round bulbous head, but unlike other Cricks go, who have this sort of like peach fuzz on their head, Bug's has a sort of soft downy feather on it. And it's this sort of nice shade of sage green. And Bug has these two wonderful floppy kind of antennae that always sort of flop into their eyes. And they have big, gorgeous, black, shiny eyes that they're very proud of.
And you do also see Geely, this little scruffy humanoid with ginger hair, who, as they're all clearing up, lets out the glow around his head, which begins to blend, and around him as he very happily gets to work, so thrilled and relieved. Yeah. Are you going to keep watching from the shadows, or are you approaching, or what's the vibe? Whatever.
I'm going to watch for a little bit.
Cool.
Just to make sure there's no danger to myself. And then...
We don't need this old knife, do we?
In the ground next to you. Is your sister awake now? Did you wake?
Yeah, I've got her swaddled in a papoose. Like,
Great.
not fucking going anywhere.
Right.
She's like thrashing around, like trying to get
Like,
out.
I'm just trying to help out.
She goes, what's that with Geely's head?
What? I've set it on fire. Turn her around.
What? He's wanting to keep doing this. Yeah. To keep making it look away. She was like, I don't mind if you think that she'll be cool with it.
I've told her everything about it. She's just like, in that very childlike way. Difference is something that kids notice, you know. But she knows all about us meeting you for the first time.
And
Don't know how much of it she's retained.
she doesn't mind that I'm Fluxxed. That's not a problem to her.
No, do ya?
No, I like it. I like having new friends with weird things going on. That's why I'm friends with Susie down the road who's got the big wart on her nose.
We can't keep calling her Susie with the warts.
But the one she's got on her face.
And you're asleep again!
Passes out. Yeah, you get to work clearing this place up. Are you sneaking closer or are you staying where you were?
Carefully sneaking closer.
Cool.
To a point where I can hear what's going on.
Cool. Then give me just another stealth check if you're coming in close.
Oh, that's a gorgeous supporting wall.
Isn't it nice? See, what I'm doing here is I'm going to make it into an arch.
And as you...
That's quite a lot like a cave. Like every single wall is a bar. What are you doing?
The more that the walls begin to dome in, the happier Bug gets.
It's dark in here.
I can't see anything.
She's Abe.
Sorry, I've got a feeling...
Jilly is just a mood light.
As you begin to close up these things, you peek through and see a greyish-blue alien person.
Oh my god, there's someone there!
What?
No! This is strange,
Food, like Genie focuses all of his attention to like stuff to think about here.
Stranger danger.
It's like, who is that?
Gilly, it's okay. It's not someone who's threatening. They're here on their own.
I think they're Thorn.
Sorry?
I'm Thorn.
That took a while, didn't it? Thorn. Do we know a Thorn? Do you know a Thorn?
I don't know a Thorn, and I think they're
Do you know a Thorn?
No, I don't know a
Alright. Springleaf! Wake up! Do you know a Thorn?
I got thorn in my paw once.
I'm
and
asleep.
it got
Sorry, Thorn, we don't actually know who you are. Are you here for a reason?
Yes.
I don't believe you for a second, mate.
You can, because you're telling the truth if you're there for a reason. You can insight if you're not sure if you believe.
Different die.
I'm going to swipe too.
Yeah.
All right.
21.
18.
Go with the 21 and 18. I'll say that, yeah, you can see that they are here for a reason. They seem to be here for a purpose. That purpose doesn't seem like malign in any way. Anything else they might get on that insight? On 21 particularly.
They're very nervous.
I actually wrote a note saying that this structure was mine legally, so you can't have it back, is what I'm saying.
I don't own this structure. I'm not from around
Amazing.
here.
Would you like to come into the cave?
Oh, I like caves.
So do I.
You guys get on.
Yeah, you come through the little archway and into this area. You see this like very ramshackle, like dusty, dirty, like old detritus everywhere. Still haven't been cleaned up very well yet.
Hi.
Hello, this is a very lovely cave.
Like him. Aimlone, right?
Yes, that is me.
My biological mum is that's the same thing. I've got one of these.
Ooh.
Yours is bigger though.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it. So.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you.
Right.
Excuse me, who are you and why are you here?
So I'm Thorn. I was told to go north to find a deadly bramble.
I bounced out of the window. I've been made! The window's been blocked up by my cat chasing a laser pointer. No!
Are you okay?
I'm fine!
Is
My
it deadly
name is
bramble?
Susan! My name is Susan.
Nice to meet you, Susan.
You too, Thorn.
I didn't know that your name was Susan. Why did you?
You're right, it's Susan!
Give me a deception check disadvantage with so little support from your
Disadvantage, you feel like you hear the clicking of a roulette wheel somewhere in the cosmos.
Oh, yeah.
And Lady Luck evens the odds for me.
Great.
Even though you are not convincing, I will use my restore balance feature as a talk works sorcerer and cancel that
Very
disadvantage.
cool.
Don't worry about it because I roll a 3.
So shockingly,
7.
it's not super convincing. You think there might be some lines of it.
Okay, Susan.
Yeah. Welcome. Can we get you something to sit on?
Yeah, we've got rock or old crate. We've got
Or
this one.
Earth?
What
Rock,
is-
old
yeah.
crate, or earth? What do you
Yeah.
want?
There's so much choice.
Yeah.
I shall go for the rock.
Oh, shit.
That is such a good choice.
You go and sit on the rock. Geely's sits next to you on the floor. Is that right? So someone sent you.
I will sit behind Julie in a sort of like very looming, protecting kind of way. So I've got my sister on my front.
Someone sent you here. Was that for what reason? To find a deadly bramble. Was it?
Well, they
What's
just said deadly bramble. They didn't say a deadly bramble. But
Did they give any sort of descriptors or like?
To murder.
Yeah, that's really.
no, I was just told north and deadly bramble in a dream. And the dream
Look at my letters. I pull them out.
brought me here.
This person.
Right. Okay.
Who was it? Who was it that spoke those words?
I.
And I told
Yeah,
you.
there was an eye. Then there were many eyes,
Right.
and then there was a leafy hand. It was all.
I but you can't trust dreams. I sometimes have dreams that I'm being pulled over for driving without a license, and cars don't exist.
What's the car?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must tell us more about this car at some point. No, dreams are strange.
what-
But it felt like a pull.
And you've journeyed quite far to get to this point.
At least an hour.
Were you told anything other than just deadly bramble, or just those words?
Beneath them.
I look at my feet.
All three of you in simultaneous.
I very subtly just like look at my feet and be like, there's nothing, no symbols or anything.
Bug like quietly begins moulding earth to see if there's anything directly beneath it.
Great. What's mold earth exactly do?
5 feet of earth.
Cool. You mold earth, and some of the earth crumbles away, and a little hole exists.
What the fuck? Bug, what are you doing compromising the structural integrity of
I
what
didn't-
always plays?
I thought that there would be treasure.
Likely story. Okay, against the whole. Said treasure. If it's gold you're after, so am I.
Great. You it's only like yay big, but you can like stamp with like bits of it fall away as
I'm
soon
gonna
as you start to
scramble down.
scramble through it. You get to what immediately is like a little step that you find, and then another step, steps going
okay.
downwards.
Team, I've hit a staircase. I'll poke my head on the hole. So there's no easy way to say this. My name is Deadly Bramble. No, that was quite easy.
You're
Yeah.
I
Is
thought
it
it was
funny?
a bush.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I've seen a bramble once, and it's not particularly harmful. So I'm not sure what my dads were on when they named me. But weird that some eye socket told you about me because I've not met them. So if it's beneath me you're looking for, there is a staircase right here. Imagine that's where they want us to go.
I think so. But I feel really bad. This is your home.
No, it's alright. This is sort of my home away from home. So I'd rather know if there was something underneath it, to be honest. Maybe it's like a renovation basement. I could have a wine cellar.
Yeah, nice. You have a wine cellar, or that's where you could put your poker table and you could fill it with sort of smoke, and maybe you could have people doing a throwing knives at a board kind of game.
Maybe you've got a concealed well.
Yeah, that'd be so. You see, as he seems to get excited about the concealed well, but the glow starts to pour out from the back of his head. It's like, and he doesn't notice. And we have a little well, we can have storage stuff in and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds great. Do you want to come down with us?
It looks a bit dark and spooky.
I'll take you.
No, okay, no. Okay, dark places are not spooky. They are wonderful, and oh my gosh, we're going to have such a good time down there.
I mean, you've given me this spiel a couple of times, actually. I suppose I could just put my head down, but is your sister coming down as well?
Well, I can't leave her up here.
I can stay with her if you want and look after her.
Are you going to stay in this structure?
Yeah. As if I'm going out from here, no.
If you do go anywhere, go back to the camp, all right?
Okay, I can take her back to the camp, yeah.
All right, but when you do that, obviously, you're going to have to put in a lot of energy bringing in the glow.
What? Oh! He looks at you very worried and stressed that his glow's come out, he hasn't noticed, he goes, and focuses it back in.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But then...
You don't mind, do you? It's like a nightlight.
Sure.
Do you know what that was?
I've seen something very similar before.
You have... When?
When have you seen that?
About a week ago?
What?
When?
It's probably best I don't discuss that.
Insight check, what's going on?
Yeah.
19.
24.
24. So, but you don't have to bear your whole soul about it, but what might they clock with 24 inside?
They're definitely trying to... They seem almost guilty about something. And very weary about you both.
You can see that Geely looks at you and goes, he goes, look, if I understand it's difficult and conflicting. I've been having all those feelings as well, and my first witnessing of some stuff was difficult. So if there's something you've seen, I promise that we've all seen stuff as well.
So, have you all left the dome before?
Yeah, I have.
How the fuck do you know that?
I get around.
I like that about you. All right, I thought you was just an aim learn, chilling with the aim learns, but no. Person of the world.
Yeah, I prefer some alone time, and it's nice to get alone time out beyond.
You don't really get it in the camp. Yeah, the first time I got it was outside the dome. Apart from the rabbits, there were loads of those. Did you get those?
I didn't see many rabbits. I did see the other bees.
Should we go down this hole?
Yeah.
But did you meet Ethan and Raynon and with their glowing heads and the helmets and the big stick and the magic? Did you meet them as well?
I didn't get anyone's names, unfortunately. I did meet someone though who had a helmet on.
With a rider soundboard?
I don't know whether
No,
they sound. No.
Single tear.
No.
I don't think they were. But they saved me from a beast, and they took their helmet off when I was helping them back, and they had the glow as well.
Yeah.
There's another one. There's a whole other one. You met a whole other one of them. What were they like? What did they say?
They said they wanted to come back into the dome.
What?
Well, that's different to the ones that we've met.
But they said it's hard to be in the dome, and I'm realising that the longer I spend here.
Yeah.
But darling, isn't it only harder because of the way that people conceive of you?
Yeah, like
I don't think it's hard because naturally it's hard. It's hard because of the people.
Even when I let it out like this, it's better. It feels better, but it still feels like wrong and like I shouldn't really be here and like.
Oh, but can I ask, because I don't really understand any of this. When you say that it feels wrong, do you mean like on a physical sense? It feels like it's still hurting you to be in here, or do you mean like you're just worried about what other people are thinking?
Both. Like I know that if someone saw me, then I'd get in trouble. But also, even with that coming out, there's still a pit in my stomach that like feels like it's growing and growing the longer I stay here.
Well, that's our problem to fix, isn't it? Because the people, we can deal with that. That's a more like sociological thing. But if it actually is making you uncomfortable, then we'll find a way for that to stop.
Well, she did say to fix the dome.
What?
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
She said to fix the dome. To be fair, when we was at the barrier last time, you could throw coins through that thing. You could walk straight through it. Don't keep anything out or in.
What is the point of the dome? Because I thought the point of the dome was to keep the bad things out.
Do you mean start a revolution?
But
Sounds like a lot of people.
Everyone, no,
You're not
stop.
been around crowds. Neither's our bug, so don't worry.
I'm having some thoughts.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
Sit down.
okay, so
I'm still in the hole.
we were told that the whole point of the dome was to keep the Fluxxed out, but the Fluxxed can come in just fine. So what's the point of the dome?
But it's hurting the flux.
Yeah, I don't think I could stay here much longer. Really, ultimately, I'm trying to come here so I can let it out, so I can stay as long as I possibly can. But at this rate, I'm going to have to go eventually. I just hope it's before.
So it's just something that's hurting you now.
But why do we even need the dome? Because the Fluxxed aren't bad.
Fuck the dome. Viva the camp!
Healy's like, well, I have got this and have their sending stone that they were given by Effa and Rain on the Fluxxed out there. It says, we've been talking only like a couple of times, and they did say something about that they know something about the dome and the barrier, the core, and that it can be changed or something, which is why what you said about fix the dome, that we can change it in some way, but they don't really, they thought it was maybe a myth or a legend or impossible. But if that person thought so as well, maybe there is some way that we can change the dome or make it better or different so that I could stay.
I would like that.
I would also like that.
I would also like that.
Save you and personally most people a load of grief.
Yeah, it's like I don't really understand why we need the dome if the dome isn't doing anything good.
You can, I guess, what do you do on the dome? Either like an insight on everyone who you've ever talked to, or like Arcana if you're trying to suss it, or nature.
I don't know what it's like in Naus, but with particularly like warding things, ghost stories stop kids from misbehaving. You know what I mean? So
well,
the
we don't
presence
have
of some-
ghosts, but we do have the cave. And the cave doesn't stop us from misbehaving in any way, but the cave does help us. The cave is good. So, you know, it's more of a case of you don't want to leave the cave, because why would you want to leave the cave? Because the cave is good.
Yeah, that's quite a lot like what I was saying.
No,
We talk about this all the
no,
time.
because the cave is real. Ghosts aren't real, but the cave is real.
Ghosts are real.
What?
Are you joking?
No.
There's one there.
This is Peter.
Bug face.
Smash cut, half an hour later, bugs wake up, ghost is gone.
Sorry, Peter.
It's a fantasy world. Anyway, yeah, Julie's like, right, sorry, we'll think more about this. You go down, see what's underneath my house, and get my wine cellar sorted.
Jimmy, before we go, I know that it's difficult for you to go out, and I know that you might have to go back to the camp. So can I cast Warding Bond on you so that we can share that burden?
That's incredibly kind, yeah, if you're sure. I mean, I'll stay out here with your sister, but then I guess if you take a long time down there, I'd leave. Otherwise, I could just wait.
You guys get hungry, or
Right.
someone else comes.
But you,
Okay.
yeah, it's difficult for you, and that's not
Right.
a burden that you should have to bear on your own.
That's very kind, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
You feel immediately a little, because you share each other's
Yeah.
pain, right? You immediately feel this just low, deep discomfort in your very gut, which is slow, because you understand these things and magic and these kind of energies. I sense it's very slowly growing, this thing inside you. But he's got his glow out, so it's not too terrible. But yeah, just that.
It feels kind of like when you get indigestion,
Yeah.
or trapped wind.
I get that when I eat
You
crab.
can't get rid of it in the normal ways.
Yeah.
Right, is she still asleep? Should I take her?
She'll be out for a while. It's not the spell anymore. She's just knackered.
She's just asleep. Okay,
Yeah.
right. I'll put her in this bundle of old
Incredible
blankets.
strength.
I forgot I'm a small child. She's only a few years younger than me.
down there.
Puts her down in the corner and says, right, I'll wait here, and if anything comes, I'll... if I just slap myself, you'll feel it on the warding bond. So if you notice that, then if you
Okay.
come back up,
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'll just ruffle his hair and be like, be good.
Yeah, I
All
will.
right.
I will.
And I'll kiss Springleaf on the forehead.
Yeah, it's easy with the big walls.
Stop being mean. I love you. And we'll go down the hole.
Great. You all heading down? You go down. Yeah, there's these ancient steps. When your feet hit them, plumes of dust come off of them. You go down, and then eventually reach a very obvious trapdoor.
Do we all have dark vision?
No.
I have a wonderful gift to share with all of you. It's the gift of the cave. Okay. Everyone say the cave is good.
The cave is good.
You all have dark vision to 300 feet.
Oh. Do I need to say that? Because our friend Dawn didn't say that and it still happened for them.
But they felt it, didn't they?
Did, yes. Indeed.
Fawn, level with me here.
Yes.
Are you going to continue to be their best mate?
I just don't want any trouble in this group.
Oh, wow. Of course, you're just tearing us apart. Right, so where are we going now?
I'm guessing down there.
You wanted to come down here, didn't you? Do you have a map?
No, I've not been here before. Most of my maps are in my head.
Right, like an atlas inside your head.
Yes.
That sounds like it should be a song.
Atlas inside your head.
As you open the trapdoor.
I'll use my new mage hand. I'll quickly just summon, be like, luck be a lady tonight. As I say that, there's beautiful, bejeweled, feminine looking hand comes down from the sky and just flips the top of the trapdoor open and be like, thank you, lady. And then
you hear a feminine laugh floating through the wind as she disappears.
Lovely.
As this opens, there's a burst of air, this old, stagnant, stale, ancient air and dust. Washes
That's so good.
That's hot. That's old PVA.
And you see there's a rope ladder going down.
Guess we're going down there.
I jump and start to go down the side of it.
You down and get to another little platform, of which there's another staircase going down. At the end, there's a stone archway into some other room.
Any hum of magic around here?
Give me an Arcana check.
Any smell of magic? Can you smell that?
No, I just smell dust.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it?
Dust.
That's a 3. Do you want to tell me what's going on?
You know exactly what's happening. You can't get a whiff of it. As you continue down the stairs.
Do we recognise this architecture? Is this close to something that I would have seen in Nurse?
Definitely not. You can give me a history check.
This isn't the camp.
That one?
Great.
That's a modified 0.
You unlearn knowledge about architecture. What is house? Only caves have existed. You don't know what these things underneath you which go like this. 0. You can't believe if anything has ever been a cave before or since. You walk down. You go to this archway and walk into a chamber. This chamber has sand all over the ground, covered in dust, this stale, stagnant smell.
I'm so on board.
Yeah. It's quite, it's probably 50 by 50 feet. It's not absolutely massive. There are some kind of old stone pedestals and plinths which are all kind of fallen away on themselves. There's big, thick pieces of material draped from on the walls, which are so coated in dust that you can't really see what they are, but they're sort of burnt orange, sort of reddish color. On the walls, there are also little tiny pieces of stone, which are all pieced together in different colors, which you might think are kind of trying to represent a mosaic or an image of some kind.
Go around just a hand over my face as a dust mask. Right, lads, I guess we can put the wine rack over here. I'm going to start prestidigitating some of the dust off the curtains.
I'll cast mending on anything that seems broken, any parts of the mosaic that feel broken or fragmented. I'll just see if I can mend them.
That's so cool. Okay, so on the one on the left is so dirty and so destroyed, but with that cleaning it up, and as you cast mending, bits of the rock on the floor, from far away, come back to it as you begin to mend it together. Yeah, it's like a bullet through your shoulder.
TPK.
TPK from mending a wall. All of you have all ducking and diving out of the way of the other stone. Even with that, not all of it comes back. There's some things missing, but with that, which wall you got left, right, and front all seem to have bits of mosaic. Are there things that you're starting with as your clean-up act? And then
we'll
let
go
you know
around
what to
together.
do.
Yeah, so
We'll just like immediately get to work and be like, right, we know the drill. You get your magic out and help.
Sure, I have that.
Ah, yes. You're a Zari type. That's fine. Could you give us a hand sweeping?
Oh, wait, we're all using dark vision to see me, aren't we?
Yes.
You can't see me.
Thorn!
I'm still here.
What is creepy?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Because of Umbral sight, I am invisible in darkness.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
I'm invisible to anyone who relies on dark vision to see me.
Whoa, so
Because
cool.
I am a Gloomstalker.
Yo.
So
yeah.
cool.
I'm just
I
saying.
love Gloomstalker.
Yeah, I'll sweep.
The coolest thing to do with that.
I can't believe we just had a discussion about whether ghosts are real or not, and this is now happening. The ghost is clearly sweeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find just a broom, but everything's like so ancient. There's just a broom.
Yeah.
You start to sweep up.
There's a mop bucket.
It's like Fantasia.
Yeah.
Great. As you dust across, you come across what is more of a actual plinth, which is still in place in more of the centre of the room, unless destroyed. You can kind of start to dust
We've
around.
probably got some champagne or something we could put on this plinth.
Perfect.
Or like a sort of
Rock.
a gourd. Or a gourd.
Or a rock.
Could be a rock.
It could be a rock.
Let's put a rock on it.
I take my holy symbol and I'm very, very carefully put my holy symbol, which is a big piece of the cave,
Absolutely, yeah.
and I pop it on the plinth.
Right. This plinth is kind of rectangular, quite long and slender. And you pop your rock on top, and it looks beautiful.
Does it do anything?
It glistens in the.
Maybe it's an arcane, like a magic thing. I'll take the big weighted gold coin that I play with my fingers and stick it onto the pedestal as well.
Great. You flick that on, and it hits. Both of you give me maybe perception checks with advantage, I guess, if you're really focusedly looking. And you're there as well. You give me a perception check. Yeah.
Oh, 5 and a 6. You're joking.
15. That's a 22.
Cool.
A 6.
Great. Neither of you noticed so much. With a 22, staring at your rock with such fervent love, you see that underneath your rock there is this like dusty pedestal where there's the faintest possible imprint of where it looked like something used to be. So the dust had settled, and then now it is gone, and then
And there's less
many
dust.
more hundreds of years have passed, and this dust has settled there as well, but less so, in the shape of a sword. You were doing your cleanup. Has that happened, or is that you doing this in the
I think I'm
cleanup?
also trimming some of this burnt orange fabric. So I'm like, I'm going to take it back and make a new soundboard strap
Oh
out of
no,
it.
maybe you shouldn't.
La,
Maybe there's
la, la.
maybe there's a sacred site. Don't trim the
Sacred site to who and what?
don't trim the sacred site.
Trimming as we speak.
Have you
Trimming
have you
as
already
we-
done mosaics, or are you doing this and then coming back to it? Is it like mosaics done?
Yeah, we were doing that
Cool.
earlier.
Yeah, we sort of
whatever
doing it
needs
bit
to
by
happen
bit,
first,
yeah.
so we
Cool.
can do that one first.
But you go, talk me through, we've got left wall, front wall, right wall.
Probably started with the left
Left
wall,
wall.
and then we got distracted by the plinth and the mosaic, the trimming of the fabric.
Yeah,
Right.
fabric.
And then
A
we
little bit.
go back to like the centre wall and the right wall.
Okay, cool. As they all go, why don't all of you give me an investigation or perception?
Would we say
We'll take that.
would we say that this is a cave, crevice, or crater?
It's so funny to ask that of any place you are. It's like you are in a tent. It's not a cave, crevice, or crater, but you can allow this thing because it is all the qualities of it are still true.
Okay, then I get
you are
advantage.
underground.
I got a 6.
The
A
first
six,
one was a
great.
nat 2, second one's an 8, so a 15. No.
Okay, cool. With a 15, as you fix all these things, I think 15 and nat 20 both, you see on the left wall and the right wall some images. You are struggling to clock this. You're focused on sweeping.
Yeah,
So you
there's
might
so
have-
much dust.
And the dust has popped up and like settled on your body and doesn't see you as a dust monster.
You see on the left wall, enough of the mosaic comes together for you to see that there is a representation of a dome, which is like blue sheen that is denoted around the outside.
What colour is the dome that we know it?
Bluish,
Bluish,
like a
okay.
kind of cyan.
Okay.
But it is depicted in kind of like this darkness around it, and the like almost like clouds, like dark clouds in the background. On the right wall, you see a depiction of all kind of like two-dimensional figures. There's kind of 20 or so then depictions as if there might be more behind them. They are all on the ground, like keeled over, and there is like a ring of light around their heads depicted. And they are like on the ground, some are lying down, some are grasping their bodies, and they look pained. In front of you, pained. But you're very distracted by these two. You don't really clock the one on the far side. While everyone else is distracted, you look up to this one in the center with that nat 20.
Some of it.
And you see this final thing. This one, even with mending and everything, is the hardest to depict. There's like big chunks of the side all missing, and only this like central area. The central area even still has big chunks out of it. You can just about see there is a figure represented. That figure is holding something aloft, but then it all kind of disappears what exactly they're holding. The figure has grey skin with a slight kind of bluish twang to it, and there is a fin running down their back, and a tuft of green coming out of the top of their head.
Thorn, you got some explaining to do, son. I think there's a picture of you or a relative of yours up on this wall.
What wall?
I can see you. You're covered in dust.
With a nat 20, you can be shown the thing, and you now see this representation in this mosaic.
Does that ring true to any of your memories?
I don't know what that looks like me. I dye my hair, so that...
It's weird that it looks like you and that's artificial, isn't it? You're not dyeing that to fit in with anyone who definitely already looks like that, are you? Let's do a side by side. Do a side by side. Stand there.
Lift your arm up.
Lift your arm up like that.
This one?
Yeah, it's that one. Both of them's fine. And then, okay, look upset. More grief. Yeah, nice. That's definitely you.
Yeah, and as you do more grief, you see the expression as maybe one of also some like determination. There's some sort of like heroism there.
Just a little bit more determined.
And as that's definitely you see absolute resemblance. Your arm brushes up against the side of this mosaic, and you hear a and give me a perception check as to where that might have come from, everyone.
Too much going on.
15.
Nat 19 for 26.
A 9.
26, holy shit. With a 26, you see that came from the little plinth which you put your rock on with the sword.
Oh, my coin!
I immediately take my rock back.
This plinth is just like a few feet in front of this mosaic. It's like...
Still
Get
the coin.
You look at, and then as you look and saw where this noise might have come from, you see where there wasn't before, something has like slid down, and there's now some words or like letters or symbols on the side of this plinth.
Does anyone read? Can anyone read this?
I mean, I can read.
You look, and it doesn't look familiar to either of you. This is an abyssal, which I believe...
I do have...
You look
That's
at this...
in what language, sorry?
Abyssal.
What is that? That sounds like the language of the abyss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's here, and it's below Julie's house. We've built a Wendy house on top of a temple where they have inscribed upon the walls reliefs of a conflict, and there are words in abyssal.
You look at this language, and even for you, because you know abyssal a bit through your family, that's a part of your culture, but this seems like sort of ancient abyssal, and like there's words that you don't quite get. Some of the symbols you're like, oh yeah, they used to kind of use those letters.
Use like the thorn.
Exactly. Very old English vibes. Oldie, there's loads of E's on the end. The oldie abyssally.
The old demons and blood wars.
You read. Are you reading it out loud or just reading it to yourself?
I will read it out loud.
The first word is something which doesn't really translate well into common. It's something which is like re-energize or reawaken sort of thing. Re-energize, reawaken me. Give me to the beast with fingernail leaves. It will find thorn in its hand. I will be allowed or able, it's not quite a good translation, but something like allowed or able. I will be allowed to break the heart of... And then there is a word which you would best describe as the sensation of dropping a rock into some sand or into some water and everything going away from it. right? That's in like dust away or water splashing away.
A ripple or a plume.
Like
Exactly,
disperse.
or a pulse of some kind, exact dispersion, a pulse, that kind of thing. I will break the heart of the pulse. So reawaken me, give me to the beast with the fingernail leaves. I will find a thorn in its hand. I will be allowed, or able to break the heart of the pulse, the dispersal. As you get to the end of reading that out, from the ceiling, sand begins to pour into the room. The door, the passage where you came through, slams shut with a huge slab of stone. You are locked in. You go over the sandboard. The room begins to fill up with sand, and your ankles begin to. Your sand is enveloping your ankles. We are not going to roll for initiative, but we're going to go into a sort of initiative. You are against the room. You three can all act once of a turn. At the end of each turn, the sand will begin to rise, but you can decide between the three of you, like who goes first or what you do. But you have one action, one bonus action, movement, etc. As normal as the sand begins to fill up.
Have we got a exit with the stairs we came down?
Big stone slab slammed
okay.
down in front of it. That is now very much gone, and you are in this room filling with sand.
Amazing. You can mould earth, right?
I can, but why don't I bless all of you first? Because I feel like we're going to have to be doing some check.
Probably be doing something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go first and bless.
Great.
the group.
You throw this bless out amongst the gang. What does that look like?
It's like being in a cave, just like a sort of waft of cave air.
Great. This cave air, which is already very stanky cave air. Okay, even
Thanks,
more
bud.
cave
It's
air.
lovely. It's really nice.
That's your
Isn't it
action.
just inspiring?
Yeah.
Movement or bonus? I mean, we can sort of do them in different
I'm
bits.
gonna sort of like I think begin shuffling my way over to the door, even though it's closed.
Cool. You can absolutely shuffle your way across. Bramble or Thorn.
How big was that big, thick door? Like,
It was probably about 10 foot across and 10 foot tall. But the big fat slab of stone is whacked down in front of it, and there's sand pouring through the edges of it as well.
okay, I'd like to try and use, so I can brew up a caustic brew, right? Which I've previously like littered all over everyone, but it's really sticky and you can't get it off of stuff. So I'm gonna try and plug the holes with this caustic liquid.
Cool.
Because it takes a full action to take it off a creature. So I'm assuming it's like difficult to remove and sand can't get through it.
Cool.
So I use my coin, go into like a little side pouch and like turn it inside out, and as I do that, go psst, and all of it shoots out of this gross little pocket that I've got on my side. It's like thick, gooey, like acidic, like crunchy liquid. And I'm gonna try and weave it into the gaps where the sand's coming out.
Cool. And what like area can you do that on?
I think it's a 30-foot line. What's the phone?
Cool. And just so I'm not being, you don't think I'm being a dickhead, there's like it's coming through the door and also through other bits of the ceiling. This will definitely slow the rise.
I've just got
but
to
it
say, I've
works.
got nothing else I can do at the
Perfect,
minute. Yes. 30 feet long, 5 feet wide in any direction I choose. So can I like
Yeah, so cool. Okay.
obviously choose the door?
Like what does it look like exactly as you do it?
Yeah, it's coming from this little gross pouch. You know when you upend it, it's all full of lint and stuff?
Yeah.
The lint in there was like caustic, disgusting brew that's melted in the sun. And so it's just springing forth like a great fountain and spraying that whole door in like a massive line.
This thing coats the door, and all the sand that was pouring through the edges of it seals.
Cool.
The sand is pouring in through other areas, but definitely filling up less aggressively. Like it was like quickly up to your ankles, and
It's
now
also
it's.
going to do some damage to the door, but it's very superficial damage. So I don't know if it matters.
Why don't you roll damage anyway, just in case?
Fine, takes it at the start of each
And
turn.
Sand will still learn some stuff, and we can then
It's
go.
4 points less of damage to the stone door.
Cool. Like you see that it does like singe at the door a little bit. Yeah. And
Okay.
Thorn, over to you.
First we'll probably stay well away from that.
Mind the acid!
I was at the plinth. When I read it, because of course you mentioned there was an indent before, but Thorn didn't necessarily see it before. Is that indent still there of the sword?
It wasn't so much an indent as like dust has settled and settled and settled, and then it's been removed, and dust has settled and settled and settled. So it's like very dusty and very, very dusty in the shape of a sword. But that is still there.
I'm gonna take my sword and put it on there.
Good, yeah, you put it on and you see that it is wildly different in shape. The sword on the actual plinth is, it's like a design that seems like it's weird and old-fashioned in its design, whereas your one is quite sleek, quite modern-looking sword, which is smaller.
Oh, you tell us. We don't know what.
But that can be free object interaction, so
Cool.
you can do other things.
Can I see if I can figure out how long it'll take for the room to fill up? Can I roll?
Yeah. Would you say insight?
Survival.
Survival, yeah, do survival, yeah, good idea.
Bless.
So we'll do this as an action, or bonus action, we'll see.
Just so I know how long we have left before we need to start writing our wills. 4, 5, 6.
6, yeah, you really struggle to get a sense of it, very stressful things falling in, particularly with the door's been sealed, so you're like, I can't quite get a read of how long it's going to take with a 6, I'm afraid. But we can do that as, we'll have a lot of like checks and things are going to be more action economy because that's going to be a lot of what this is, I'd imagine.
Cool.
I didn't use my bonus action. Can I make a check on a bonus action?
Why don't we
Not do that.
Why don't we not do
Okay.
that? No, it might depend a little bit on what it is.
I think specifically Bug would be looking to see, because Bug has proficiency in Mason's tools and obviously spends a lot of time in caves, like looking to see specifically on a structural level if there are any other places where we could possibly be getting out of it other than the door that the sound is coming through.
I think something more investigatory like that will
Would be
take
a
an
full
action.
action.
If it was something
Right.
like little to
Fair,
check
fair.
one thing,
Yeah.
we might be otherwise.
Yeah.
Cool. But otherwise, everyone's good. Everything
Yeah.
else.
Sounds good.
The sand definitely less aggressively is like filling up. You can step on top of it sort of as it comes through, but it would be going up more to like your knee level now, or even
Bramble is
so on the mud.
so deeply upset that she doesn't have a soundboard. It's so sad. and,
Yeah.
like, painful to watch.
Great, we're back as it's filling up. There's probably about a quarter of the room full of sand from the top now.
I'm gonna run to that mosaic of thorn and try and figure out what the thing this person was holding looks like.
Great.
Because whatever you're trying to do, I like that, but maybe it's the weapon that this person was holding. Yes!
Great, you can, I guess, give me. It's like investigation or perception, whatever you'd like, if you want to really try and get a sense
I'll
of it.
sling up my mage hand to try and
Cool.
dust the wave in front of some archaeologist tools. It's like very feminine hand of Lady Luck herself comes and goes, and do an investigation.
Yeah.
Fuck. Never mind.
So
What's
bless.
going on? Okay, I don't think it's going to help too much. 7 plus investigation, which is -1, so that's a 6.
Cool, yeah, so you're like really trying to dust it away, but it's a lot going on. You think maybe you'd need extra bits of mosaic, which are now probably under the sand, which as it's filling from the ground, and you, struggling to see exactly what it is. Thorn and Bug.
I'll be doing what I was saying. I think using
Yes.
my sort of Mason's knowledge and like my knowledge of underground structures, thinking about if we can't get through the door because there's sand coming through the door and it looks like that exit has been blocked up, where else could we be getting out of here from?
Cool, yeah, give me an investigation check, and you can do it with your proficiency bonus, right? And your words.
Could it be perception or
Yeah,
Okay. Is that a 6? That's a 6.
Wild.
Well, we're in a cave, a crevasse, or
100%.
For you!
This is Bug. What was that? For those at home.
That was a 3.
Great, very good.
So we'll go with the 6 plus the 1 for plus 7. Plus 7, so 14.
14, that's not terrible. All I'm gonna say with a 14 is, I guess your eyes go to where the sand is pouring through, like the corners of the room, and that like that at least means there are cracks there where something is coming through, and like that wasn't there before, so it has like opened in some ways, triggered. So that,
something else could be just something.
or just that is a bit of a gap, like
Yeah,
so
or-
it's not just
Like
thick
if it was
wall.
triggered, then there's got to be a way of untriggering it, right?
Why does reading the scroll trigger this place to fill with sand?
Read it again. Say it again.
Read it again! Read it backwards!
Yeah.
Read it backwards!
Yeah, say it backwards.
Is your turn, Thorn? You can
Oh, read it
Shout it backwards!
you shout it backwards. You spend your turn going, of heart the break and able be will I, heart, etc. And get to the end, and you wait, And nothing happens, the sand keeps filling up, and that will have been your action though. I think you just spend the whole time focusing on reading that thing. Unless you have any bonus actions or anything you want to do, anyone could do things. The sand begins to fill up more and more, and get more to like waist height on your, but like I say, it's not just like getting up to your waist, because you can climb up on top of it as it fills, right? The issue is more that eventually you're gonna get like drowned in it, like you're not be able to get out. It's now like they like reaching the top of the pedestal, back to the top of the initiative, back to the top.
Why would a temple be designed to just fill with sand?
To trap people for their death.
But no, it makes no sense, because if you were able to read it, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah,
Why would
exactly.
it punish us for that?
I don't get it. Why would someone design it? You know religion and stuff.
Well, I know that the cave would never do this. There's not a lot of sand in the cave.
That is useful. I'm sorry, sand is more my purview, or at least it used to be. All right,
Look,
are we going to try and fix that mosaic? Because that gives us an indication of what the sword was. I think that might be the only thing that stops sand from coming in.
Well, I think we tried to fix this was as fixed as we could get it, right? Is that
It's fixed as Bramble could get it. There's maybe
With
a
the
chance,
mending
but
as
like
well.
it was. I said that it was all like under the sand, so it'd be very hard now. The best thing was to add mosaic to it, which is now deep under the sand.
Okay, look, I've got this wacky idea.
Yeah,
which
all
is, if there's sand coming out of those holes, then they're holes, right? That logic
you
form.
son of a bitch.
Very good.
So why don't we make the holes bigger, and then we ride this rising sand up, and then just head out of the holes.
Okie dokie. So we need some sort of smashing and bashing mechanism. Look
why don't I
around.
just-
Sort of send a frame.
Could I use guiding bolt? Are we
Do
happy?
it.
Are we happy with me trying this? Because I might just make it worse for everybody.
No, smash it
I
in.
want to just see, because with my background, I have an excellent memory for maps and geography. Would I know, with the way that we sort of came down, have a general idea of what's above there?
Very cool. Yeah, if that is just a definite thing that you have, you would know that you came down, that you will be currently below, slightly outside of the upstairs structure. So the upstairs structure, right, like with the outside walls, and you snuck in on it, and you're in the sneaky and outside area, it will be outside beyond the structure slightly.
Cool.
And that was kind of expanse land, like nothingness.
Yeah. If we do that, we'll end up outside. Eventually.
Sounds good. That's kind of where I want to be.
Let's do it. I'm going to try and do that then. I'm going to cast guiding bolt at. In fact, I'm not going to. Do I? No, I don't have an attack roll cantrip. I'm going to cast guiding bolt at one of the holes.
Great, do an attack roll, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Do I get plus with attack rolls? No, it's just ability checks and saving.
It is attack rolls.
Attack rolls too?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, it was a dirty 20 plus 7, 27.
Oh my gosh, 100% hits. Roll damage.
With, oh, what is the damage?
I could send the whole to sleep.
It's 46? Okay, so.
Okay. So
9.
that's a little bit of a better showing.
9.
Yeah.
You use this thing, cracks against it. You see it does like splinter and crack a bit, but 9 wasn't enough to completely destroy it in 1. But you see that did make headway. The bit of the it like breaks apart a little bit more.
Is it making more sand come out? Or is it looking like we'll be able to, there's like a gap now that we can get out of?
It looks a bit like both. Like there's a bit more sand coming in.
Okay, no, that's
but
good. That's good. We can do that.
Yeah.
Can I spend my action? Is there like a runner, like a tapestry near it that I could climb
Yes,
up?
there's tapestries most of the way
Amazing.
around.
I'm gonna full Reishin, like really long limbed, like hoik both my arms up and clamber up the fabric.
Cool.
And I'm just gonna like get the coin in my hands and then stick a finger in the hole and cast Shocking Grasp at it.
Cool.
It's the only kind of attack roll I can do. Don't suppose there's any metal near the hole, is there?
Metal near the heart.
No.
I have described this as very stone.
Oh, unbelievable. Yes, I will. I'll do that. Did you hit it with Guiding Bolt?
Yeah.
Because I get
You got
advantage of
advantage.
this.
Amazing.
Amazing. Watch me miss an attack on the hole.
9.
Okay, alright, 17.
To hit, yeah, hits.
Amazing.
Did you have bless? Did you have bless?
I didn't have bless. That makes it a 21 to hit.
Really
Too
hits.
much. Let's go with a D8. 1, 2. No, it's not 2D8, sorry, it's just the 1. Let's do that again. 1 point of lightning damage.
Scramble
Like the
up.
same as just like electric shock. I rubbed the top of my head.
It's not even static.
Great. That happens.
Okay.
Thorn over to you.
Spikes out, climbing up the wall, grab out the long sword and just.
Don't worry, I've got it.
Yeah, Aimland have these spikes in their hands, right, which is part of their culture they can use. Very cool.
And I'm just gonna try and stab at the
Great,
ceiling with
give
my
me an
free hand.
attack roll.
Bless.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to hit.
13 hits.
Cool.
13 hits the hole.
That is a D8, which is this one, for 11 piercing.
Nice.
We have maybe just for drama we'll do I'm doing
never know who did it.
guiding bolt, your hits, right, your lightning, and then and then with I'm sort of taking them as a combined damage because they will all have like with a second of each other.
did an equal part.
They crumble. I quite like the idea of the guiding bolt, big stab, it's still there. That's the final 1 point. It opened. Both of you are just there. Both of you give me deck saves.
That's
Clinging onto the thing. Come on, aim, learn, boys together.
Bless.
Oh, I'm blessed. Nice one. 21.
16.
Oh, phew, okay. As this thing, you would sense that like loads of sand pours out like a big torrent, that it would easily, like quickly engulf you. It would be very hard to get you out of the sand, but you managed to like duck out of the way. There's now a big pile around this corner, which you've made this hole in the wall. At the end of all of your turns, it fills up even more. It's about 2/3 of the way to the top with this pile at the side of the room.
Gotta go. Bug out!
I'm gonna like start climbing the big pile of sand that's coming in.
Yeah.
I have. How far will 25 feet of movement go?
This is not a very big room, and I don't think you need to have been far back. So 25, you could have got like 10 feet to the thing, or I guess 15 feet going up the slope. So you have 10 feet left, which climbing would be half.
Yeah. I'll dash them
Cool, great. So then you
to
have,
get fully out of hole.
great. Give me acrobatics to try and climb.
Okay. You sure? You sure?
Can I
pretty
help
sure.
her? Can I help
Could it be
them
athletics?
in any way?
Could it be athletics?
It could be
A
athletics.
strong bug.
It could be about heaving oneself.
Can I spin the end of the tapestry out on the pile? To
No,
give
it
them
doesn't
advantage on
fucking
it?
matter because I rolled a 3.
They'll give you advantage on
Okay.
it if I help
Yeah,
out
I
with
think
the
you do.
tapestry.
Oh, that's so much better. 23.
Great, you heaving with just true athleticism. Scramble yourself up. So how many feet is that? Yeah, 10 feet. You would use 50 overall, so you've got 40 feet up. Yes, that's right.
But if it's half movement, then if it's
Oh yeah, so
then
it'd be 20.
feet down.
Great, you scramble up. You don't quite get to the top, but you see there. You can smell and see the fresh air above you. Both of you.
Go, Thorn, go!
Climb up, spikes in.
I've like got the hands just meter behind.
Great. Give me athletics or acrobatics. Your climbing speed is, you have a climbing speed
I
because
do
of
not, yeah.
mainland, so you can go super far, but just check that this is all. Actually, you can have advantage as well because of your spiky hands.
You're blessed.
The whole
You're blessed.
I am
vibe.
blessed. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17.
Perfect. Yeah. And so, what's your speed? 60 feet.
Yeah, to dash out of there. 60
It's
feet.
great. So, and you were already at the base. Boom! You spring out of the top and get out exactly where you thought you were, a few feet away from the structure. Over to you, Bramble.
I'm the last one in there and I'm hanging onto this thing. I just look behind me at this gorgeous slope of sand and I'm like, I need to talk to my dads. Fuck! And then keep going and scramble out.
Great. Give me acrobatics or athletics.
Oh,
if you're dashing, you can use. It will be 60 feet. It will be 30 feet.
I use my action to give Bud the help action, so
Oh, yeah,
I'm
of course
probably
you did,
trailing behind. Oh no! Acrobatics or athletics?
Bless.
I'm blessed! Okay, 7 plus 10. That's a 10.
Go with the 10. I mean, this isn't super stressful, so you're like clambering up. It's not very
Just a
elegant, but
bit.
you're making not amazing progress.
Yeah.
Sand is coming up behind you, hot on your tail. Give me final, both of you, acrobatics or athletics. To try and do the final sand. You could help at the top,
Yeah.
maybe, so helping.
Oh,
My
it was
hand will be down,
on
ready.
a 20 and it rolled off the 20 onto a 2.
Oh,
I'm going to say if you're doing help action,
Yeah.
whoever's higher up, which is you, so you can get advantage.
so much better.
22, 24.
Take my hand, be careful of the spike!
Yeah, you take care of the spiky hand.
I
you,
don't hold on to the hand, I hold on to the spike.
yeah, you get up.
Sure, okay.
You both lift out. Bramble really struggling. You see the sand pouring up just behind her as she's trying to scramble up. Getting a bit go around her and could keep her stuck in place. Are you reaching down to help? What's going on?
Yeah. I think if I've got the spike in this hand, I'm going to reach down with this hand.
It goes a predator handshake.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. As you heave up, the sand bursts up out of the ground behind you. Three of you lie back, panting on the ground. These words still ringing in your ears. The picture of yourself on the mosaic on the wall as you lie there, catching your breath. And that's where we'll end our session. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week for the next episode of Trisha's Hideous Queers.